Test, 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 test. I didn't have it out there um, as far as having it scheduled, but I'm putting it out now to see if more people log on right away when it goes live right away, or if more people would somehow come on when I do a schedule when I schedule it for later. I don't know which way is better yet. But if as we show up, can you put something in the chat box so I know if you're there? And tell me how the sound is. What a day. What a day. This was probably one of the longest days since I've been able to start. Hey Deb, hey Michigander. So it does alert you when so is it better when I schedule it like a half hour in advance? Or is it better when I just put it out like this? I'm getting so many messages. This is so yeah, but oh sorry. I've been getting I've been getting a pretty good flow of messages all day, and it's like just catching is hard. Like, I hope I got to everyone today. I think that there's still some that I haven't gotten to. I do definitely want, if we could still pray for Rob to help him find a job, to comfortable in, what he's going to do is. I really hope that this is my wish for him is that I want for him to get an opportunity where it's like even twice as good as it was before. I mean, I want him to really witness the power of God, and I mean, anytime that happens, you get so much confirmation, especially when you're in need and the clock is running out and you're really depending on God for God to come through in those situations is good testimony, very good testimony to share with the group, So let me say hi to everybody. Want to say hello to Deb, who was first. Hey, Michigander. So it does alert you, Michigander, right away, huh? And hello, Wick on Fire. I forget if I know you from before or if you're brand new. I can't really remember, but if you could refresh my memory as to where we met you. I always like to know where how people find us, because it's so hard to find us, And hey Sheila, how you doing? And Deb again. AJ Blunt, what's up, my brother? Do you have your wrench? If anybody doesn't have a wrench and they've been around for a while, I will fix it. Of course, I do want to get to know people a little bit before I start giving out wrenches because, um, it's almost like like just to protect the group, like having 150 wrenches out there at one time. It's like I don't know what's happening or what people are doing or what they're capable of doing. And so, it's 1 o'clock in the morning out there. Man, you guys would be even better off if I came out even earlier. Like, I don't know. I can't think right now. But I wanted to have Tom on today. I wanted to have him come on, and but I don't see him now. And Shulamite was good this morning. She was on fire today. She kind of just took over. God bless her. I think that was good. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. If I'm gonna make any changes, it's got to suit everybody, right? It's very difficult, right? Um, because I want everybody to kind of get what they want out of it. That they are able to have the type of show that they want. Excuse me. Sorry. And oh yeah, and this is another thing I wanted to go over is um I know that oh yeah, Teresa is wonderful. She is. And I so all of you guys are you guys have different time frames, you know, the different time zones, right? And a lot of you live in, you know, different areas, and it's different times for all of you. And you know, sometimes by the time I get to somebody, sometimes I don't realize what time it is, right? If I'm messaging you at a time that's not good, I would appreciate it um if you would let me know and set that boundary with me, so that way I know. Because if I, you know, if let's say, you know, you're used to having family time after a certain time, and then if I message during that time, um, you know, I don't want to disturb that. You know what I mean? So if there's any like restrictions or anything like that, you know, let me know so that I'm not insensitive to that, because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can for everybody. And I really do want to get to everybody like right away, you know? And sometimes I don't get to somebody until almost right before the show. And or I'll answer a few messages, and then I'll get some more messages from you guys, and then by the time I come back to it, it's like a couple hours later. And so I would just like to know, you know, especially for those of you with families, you know, you don't need me texting you at some crazy hour, you know. I would get that. And so I need to learn all this like keyboard language and all that stuff. I just learned that AFK is away from keyboard. So that's like if you're not like if you're not typing or something like that, you're like letting people know that you're away from the keyboard. That's funny. I need to learn all this stuff. I'm a little bit late in the game to be learning all this stuff, but you know, that's why I like email so much, because then if you don't want to answer, you could just leave it, you know. No, nobody can text me too late. That's impossible, Debbie. No, if I sleep more than a couple hours at a time, that's rare for me. It's very rare for me. If if you don't hear from me in 2 hours, then it's a rare thing. Sorry, I've been yawning so much. I've just been so tired, you know. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, well, Sasquatch saved me in the morning, you know, and so I definitely want to give him credit for being there for me, you know, waking me up in the morning, because No, you didn't wake me up, Deb. Look at all the yawns I'm getting on there. What are you guys all bored? I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys. Um, no, it's impossible to text me at different times. You could text me in the middle of the night if you want. I would prefer it really because I'm up mostly. Okay, you guys are starting the yawns. Now I got like 4 or 5 yawns in a row now. But mostly I'm up all night, and that's actually probably a good time to text me, a better time because you're not competing with anybody else, you know? And so it's easy for me to have talks. That's why it's like kind of easy for me to send Sheila a lot of messages or Hannah or somebody like that. Um, it doesn't eat up anybody else's time because they're on the other side of the world, you know. And so it makes it really easy. And so I want if you guys can pray for Cindy. Um, you know, she wasn't feeling too well. Plus, there was a lot of like misunderstandings that maybe she was involved in. And plus, her husband wasn't feeling too well. And so, if you can put some prayers up for Cindy, that would be great. Hey, BB, how you doing? So happy to see you. Hey, Paula, if I didn't say hi already. And so, yeah, I don't think Cindy will be here today. So prayers for her and prayers for Teresa. Hey, Joel, how you doing? Man, I was like, Joel, man, I was just yawning, dude, like 4 times in a row. And yeah, I hope I'm not putting you guys to sleep. But I'll tell you what, like I've been like feeling a whole lot better, you know. Feeling a whole lot better lately as far as like getting like some type of sleep, you know. But it's good sleep. That's the thing that's crazy is like you know how usually when you don't sleep longer than an hour, you don't really have that REM sleep, that you know, the dreams and all that. Well, it's weird because I'll have like a bunch of little 1 hour sleeps, but I dream every single time I sleep now. And I remember being a kid and not remembering any dreams ever. Like I'm like, man, I never dream. And then my mom explained it to me when I was younger um that we were dreaming, but we just don't remember it. But then like I'll have a dream that I think is like super like I'll think that I'm dreaming, you know, like how it says in the Bible, your old man will dream dreams and the kids will see visions and all that. Like I was thinking that, you know, but when I wake up, and then I try to think about it, it all goes away. Like if I don't think about my dream, then I could recall it. But as soon as I start thinking about it, when I wake up, I lose it immediately. But there's one that sticks out to me that I've had a couple times, which is I had this dream that Mexico was like at war with us and with taking over the United States. Like they got into us pretty deep. Like if I had to guess, I wouldn't think that they would be that much of a threat in my head, right? But you know, and I don't know everything, right? So there's a whole lot of things that you know, I wouldn't be considering. But it seems like they were like already in San Francisco on the bridge and everything, like taking control of America. And we had two presidents. Like some people were following Biden, some people were following Trump, and it was the country was split, you know. And I don't know. I think that dream meant more probably closer to Trump's presidency. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, they're all friends. You know, they're like you know, they're coworkers. You know, I think we forget sometimes that different parties doesn't mean that they aren't friends. I mean, it just means that their political views are not the same, you know? And so you wonder, if, you know, or like when I seen a picture and uh, I don't know. Sorry, guys. I just had like a weird vision, and maybe I was just kind of talking nonsense there for a second. Yeah, I feel like we were attacked by Mexico and Canada, right? And at the same time, like the bridge was being taken over, and yeah, I know I'm falling apart, but that like more than one country was coming after us, right? And America was falling in my dream, and I don't know like what that means biblically or whatever. It's probably not one of those types of dreams. I mean, I know everyone thinks their dream is, you know, some kind of special thing. It was probably just a crazy dream, you know. But hey, y'all, how are you doing? I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that I met you, man. It was just. I'm glad that you're here. I mean, just the way I met all you guys, like, it's so crazy. It could have only happened this way, you know. Well, see, like, I mean, yeah, Deb, I guess you could say that, right? But I mean, everybody thinks that they're having a vision or a dream or whatever, you know, like the likelihood that I was having some kind of like vision or whatever is not very good, you know? Like like the odds that I'm getting some type of information that everyone else isn't getting, that's not very likely, you know? And so if it is, then, you know, then I thank God for it. I maybe I'll get it over and over and over again, you know? But it's the way I look at it, it's just a, you know, a weird dream or something. And if that is prophetic or whatever, it's a very scary scenario because um, it looked um, like it looked like conflict started in America, like was taken over pretty easily, like way too easy. And if that's the case, then um, if it can happen like that, then I would really have serious questions about how safe like, were we ever safe, you know? And I guess safety is just something that you feel, right? Like it's defined by how you feel, right? I mean, some things are, you know, I guess, you know, pretty pretty objective, right? Like if you're not being hurt, right, that means you're safe, you know? Like that kind of stuff I can understand, but some of the stuff is pretty subjective, you know, like just how safe are we, you know? We're as safe as we feel, you know? I guess if we're all getting enough food and our loved ones are all safe, right? Like, you know, you got to just be grateful for that because anything could happen in a world like this, right? Um, you know, it's been going on like, you know, since the beginning of time, people struggling over land, struggling over power, um, you know, and then like on microcosms, right? Like even country to country, right? Like leadership wanting more and more control of their people, you know. Um, I mean, the idea that citizens are allowed to have the right to bear arms. I mean, that's crazy, you know. Okay, electromagnetic pulse. I would love to hear more about that. Does anybody want to come up and talk about that? I would love to talk about that because I know a lot of people are interested in that. Yes, you're absolutely right, Deb. That's the only thing that makes us safe is we're safe in salvation, right? Like The only thing that makes us safe is that, that our Lord took our punishment for us, right? The wages of sin is death. And that's the only thing that makes us safe. And we're only safe, in the eternal sense, right? Like anything could happen to us right now, and it's all for God's good, right? And so they would never destroy the grid that Satan relies on. Oh yeah, as far as like internet, and then not only that, Joel, but like there would be like an influx of like pirated, people. I mean, the signal is there, right? People would get on the internet no matter what. It just would be like many, many private, you know, ways to get on. So like there'll be like a lot of hackers and all that stuff would have some kind of thing rolling because when with the signal that's out there now, you can't just undo the signal. It's up there, servers. You're right. You're right. I mean, yeah, if they wanted to take it down, they could, but like you're right, they need us on there. They want us on there. Yeah, but you know what? Like I'll tell you what, Level Up, there is something to that 5G not being good for you. I know I just probably said one of the trigger words, but I'll tell you what, these boxes out here are humming. I mean, it was scary like because I'm in a pretty decent apartment complex in California, so it's it was we were like probably one of the first people to get it, probably worldwide or nationwide or whatever. And we had 5G boxes out there long before I had 5G, and I just figured if I'm going to be around all these humming boxes, that I might as well have it on my phone. But yeah, it kind of makes me feel a little bit nauseated, and maybe that's because I'm thinking about it. Who knows, right? There's a lot of things that are psychosomatic. And coronal mass ejection. Coronal mass ejection. Oh yeah. Well, I don't think that they could just do stuff without your consent. Like, I really think people are like moving. I mean, taking that a little too far as this like controlled, where they're gonna force you or whatever. I can see them like, they're manipulating us to get it, and it's not like they're on the news talking about different ways to combat like a disease, like a real disease. Like they're not saying, hey, eat this way or take these vitamins or get your rest or drink a lot of water or these certain fluids. Like there would be more talk about that, like how to beat it, all the different alternative, um, all the different alternative ways to fight, a disease or whatever. That's what it would be like, if it were um, something like to the effect of what they're saying. Because if you remember when this thing first came out, um, people were just falling over in the streets, and you're like, wow, man, how do you even know you have this stuff? People are just falling dead in the middle of the street. And then remember they were digging mass graves and all kinds of stuff, and you're like, wow, man, this is gonna be bad. I mean, obviously, I auto hoaxed it a little bit, right, when it first came out. I'm like, yeah, this don't seem right because I don't believe anything in the news. Not because I'm good at discerning any of this stuff, but I just automatically assume it's not real. But now, I mean, obviously, they're talking about something that's out there, so I guess all I could say is, CDC has guidelines. I have my opinion about it, and do what you guys want to do. Um, but yeah, I would say that like 99 point something percent of the world is just there to deceive you or separate you from God, and yeah, I think that if there was no rules though, like if they really were in charge of us, like on that scale, they would just kill us. Like they don't want us eating up all the resources or there being so many people here. Like if they could, they would. So there must be some rules in place that the devil just can't cross. I think we do have to consent to like that's why all the ingredients are on the box of everything, so that when you eat it, it's on you because you didn't read the ingredients. It's their way of lifting the liability. If they say, okay, well, don't eat Pop Rocks because it'll like you know mess up your brain or something like that, and then you eat Pop Rocks, well, that's on you, right? Like they warned you. It says on the, you know what I mean? Like, and then I also used to think about dual agents too. Like, yeah, okay, there'd be like a harmless ingredient in Coca-Cola or something that is not good for you, but it's not bad for you either. Or there'll be a ingredient in some other thing that's not harmful for you, but it's not good for you either. But those two chemicals combined will have like a dual reaction, right? Like if you eat these things together, they don't have to tell you that it's bad for you in that way. They assume that it's on you to check that. And there's so many different cross interactions and contraindicated medicines or contraindicated foods to eat together. And so, that's a good way for them to put it on us. Um, I know it. Hey, you're right, Joel. I mean, you're absolutely right. Like I remember being in I think it was junior high, and there was rust on a bumper, and they used Diet Coke, right? They put some Diet Coke on it, and buffed it out. I mean, it was taking rust off of a bumper, and so imagine what it does to our bodies. And so, yeah, sure, I haven't had um, anything but water in the last 6 months. I mean, I think maybe two or three times I had a Diet Coke, but it didn't taste good to me. If you don't have it for a long time, it tastes like poison. It straight up tastes like poison. You're like, how did I ever drink this? Like, how did I ever think this was refreshing? But yeah, they say Coca-Cola can clean your drain pipes. You're right about that. You are right about that. There is so much evidence of what this stuff does to us, especially over the course of time, and even things as simple as sugar. You know, and yeah, what is the 1335? That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Build his deception going to kill us off. And, a lady that drinks at least 2 liter of Mountain Dew every day. That sounds like my brother. My brother could drink Mountain Dew all day long. And I mean, God bless these people if that's what they want to do. And I used to drink a lot of soda when I was a kid. But I mean, when I joined the army and had to be in shape for part of my job, like you can't really get away with, like eating that much sugar. I think that's when I learned to like, um, so Daniel's 1290, but it says, blessed are those who have made it to the 1290, but that's days, right? 1290 days of the witnesses. Or are we looking at 1290 years on the Daniel calendar? I mean, there's so much interpretation, there's so much stuff now that like I'm totally like lost on some of it. I mean, I feel like I'm totally lost. Oh, I told, hey Cindy, welcome. I told people to pray for you, because you're not feeling good, and then that your husband wasn't feeling good for a little bit there, and yeah, I hope that everything is going better. Hey, Sacramento True Movement, what's going on? Yeah, I wanted to apologize to you the other day, man, because I remember when you first came and asked me to come, if you can come on. Um, I was like skeptical because I didn't want to have like one of those debates. I didn't want to have a debate about like um, the Hebrew Israelite stuff, right? But you know what? You're like a member of us, man. Like you've been coming here a long time, and I should have just had you just come on. And so, I mean, it was a blessing to have Chris on, and you said you couldn't come on anyway that day. But yeah, anytime you want to come on, buddy, you can if there's a free day or whatever. And I just want to apologize to you in front of everybody, just so that everybody knows. It. Well, it's weird, because yeah, I get that, right? But like sometimes that doesn't um I guess that's the biggest factor. And if you were a Hebrew Israelite, but there are some people that aren't. Um, you know, I mean, I knew that about you, but there are people that think that there's going to be like some type of servitude up there. I want to say it in the nicest way. They think that there's going to be like slavery up there, and I didn't know if there were people that were preparing for that. And it's hard because when you get these different doctrines, right, and it starts off pretty good, right, like where you think you're learning, like, oh, maybe this is the real history, maybe this is more about Jesus, maybe this is more about who Jesus was, or um, more about the truth of him, because we've been lied to so much. And so you get into it for that reason. And the next thing you know, you're stuck in all these rules, that it's hard to get out of that. And so I didn't know what your position was on all that stuff. That was the only thing. But you know what? You've been coming here long enough, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I should have given you the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, whenever you want to come on, I'm cool with that. Yeah, you drink nothing but I know, but Cindy drinks the kind from Mexico where um she drinks the kind where it doesn't have the high fructose corn syrup. And I'll say this, right? Like the high fructose corn syrup, right? It's got the same uh empirical formula as like, sucrose and glucose, right? But it's got um, but it's got a different structural formula. So it's got the same empirical formula with a different structural formula. And so when you drink or eat a lot of high fructose corn syrup, it doesn't process in your blood the same way as other sugars, right? It becomes like fatty in your liver, and it doesn't digest and process in your body the same way. And I wish I had Michelle here because Michelle is, she's the one that's good with all the medical stuff. She's very educated on that stuff, and I don't want to give away what she does, but she's in the healthcare, you know, field, and so yeah, it's just a different way of how you. You're right. You're right. You're right, Yoswell Soaring. You're absolutely right. and so that's where you get a lot of belly fat from and all that kind of stuff because it doesn't process the same way. But in Mexico, they don't use it. In Mexico, they don't use high fructose corn syrup. They use real sugar. And so I remember Cindy saying that because she drinks a lot of soda and she drinks the kind from Mexico. A Coke probably would have saved your husband DMT visit. He apparently had a blood sugar drop. Oh yeah, sometimes when you bottom out, that's no good. When you told me that like you were sweating right and you needed to go lay down, I was like, oh no, maybe your blood sugar's dropping. That's what I was worried about. But you drink a lot of soda for someone your age, and so you know you don't have any diabetes or anything, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to drink all that soda. Habla español. Um, um, hola, me llamo Esteban. Uh, hola, más bonita, flaca señorita. Yo quiero. Oh, you don't speak? Oh, I'm trying to figure out basic stuff. I speak some because we're so close to Mexico. Esteban. That's Steven in Spanish. You thought that about a friend of yours today. About what? About if their blood sugar was dropping? Yeah, sometimes these ingredients and some of these things are you know, it's like sugar, but it's not sugar, or it's like a certain fat or a certain vitamin, but it doesn't absorb or digest the same way. And you wonder, is that nefarious? Is that on purpose? Are they adding something to what we're eating and drinking to try to hurt us? And so, we eat these. We look at the box. It says what vitamins and sugars and carbs and all this that we're eating, and we plant it in you know our diets, but it's not absorbing the same way as it would if it naturally occurred in food somehow. And so you wonder, like, are they trying their best to give us all the vitamins that we need, or are they like trying to get us to eat these vitamins instead of what we're supposed to have? Oh yeah, the corn syrup is the worst. I mean, I would just say that it's poison. Even natural sugar is poison. So like any variation, right? Because it is one of those where it's the same empirical formula, different structural formula. Like it's structured in a different way. That there's so many variations of it that I mean it's poison. I don't know how to say it another way. Maybe that's not the best word. Sugar is not good for you, and I think that I won't get a community guidelines, whatever, for any medical stuff because sugar's not good for you. But I agree with what you just wrote right there. That's what I think sugar is. And so um, now I have like probably, I don't know, I want to say I have less than 5 grams a day of sugar, which that would be a lot for me in a day. And so, but most people like, there's like over 50 grams of sugar in one soda. So there's many people have like hundreds of grams of sugar a day, and they don't really notice it, or I mean that's nothing to them, and it does so much to your body. Like it ages you, it makes you sick, um, it makes you gain weight fast. Yeah, they told me not only was it medical misinfo, if I told people to be um skeptical of a certain vacation, right? Hey, son, my son was here. My son is here right now. I'm so happy to see you. But so not only was I, telling people to be skeptical about it, they said that I was giving medical advice, and I wasn't. But I could totally make a song about like, hey guys, take your shot, la la la. Anybody could say take the shot, right? But people can't say don't take it. You know what I mean? Like if you say don't take it, then it's medical advice. So everybody just follow the CDC guideline. I mean, I know what I'm going to do with the CDC guideline, and so you don't have to do that, but I'm not doing it. And I can only speak about my own personal experience and not what you should do. And I'm not doing it. It makes me feel good to see my son here. I mean, do you know how impressive that is for an 18-year-old to be here listening to the truth, like listening to the truth about the world? And I mean, imagine how hard that is to accept that this world is not a fair place. It's very mature and grown up for a person his age to understand that, because a lot of us want to be so naive and think, oh yeah, everything is fair in this world and it'll all work out if we just try hard. But the reality is that this world is a hostile place, and we gotta really, prepare ourselves to not be disappointed. You know, yeah, I'm so proud of my son. I'm so proud of my son. Me and him talk like almost every day. Well, it's yeah, you're right, Cole. He just texted me. He said, "Wow, you have a lot of subscribers." I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, more than I ever thought I would ever. When it got to 150, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "What? 150 people want to listen to us? No way." It was me and Tom. But I think me and Tom had a good chemistry. Like, I don't think we realized how lucky we were to find each other, because we agreed on almost everything, and that's already hard to find, is someone that you agree with. And then we were both into like the truth and stuff, so like we both like knew and accepted a lot of truths and stuff. Oh yeah, you just texted me. Yeah, yeah, it's like 1260 or something like that. I don't know, but I only see about 100 and something of them every day. The best ones, I guess. Everybody's the best one, really, but not everybody watches everything every day, right? Yeah, I'm proud of both my boys. They're different. Like my older one's more like outgoing, likes to be outside more, that kind of thing. And Cole's more um, introverted. He likes to be inside. He likes alone time. It's interesting how different they are, but they get along. That's all you can hope for, right? Yeah, he is subscribed. He's subscribed to us. To, I think that's how he finds out if we're alive, right? Is like you click, like it gives you a reminder if I'm on or not. I love it too when Will comes to when Will comes to visit us too. And I'm glad that everyone's so nice to my kids. Yeah, yeah, Cole, I don't know why these people like me. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it is what it is, right? I think if you're always nice, then you'll have people in your life that are nice to you. But you'll also end up with people that take advantage of you too. How am I doing? I would say, all things considering, right? We all have challenges. All things considering, I'm doing pretty darn great. You know, of course, there's things in life that we have to overcome, and I have my own personal challenges, but it is what it is. It is what it is. How are you guys doing? We've already reached time, but I want to go a little bit longer if you guys want to talk about how you guys are doing. Send what to me? Oh, thank you for saying that, Deb. Sometimes the only reason I believe that, right, is because I hear it from you guys. Like two or three of you people will say something nice to me, and I'm like, well, I believe it because more than one person is saying it to me. But it's hard for me to view myself in that way. I don't think I'm bad, but it's hard for me to see myself as any any different than anybody else. So you're setting up new outlets. Oh, you lost two channels, man. Well, you had one that had like over 13,000 subscribers, but you put up a lot of music too, so that probably helps, because music helps you gain subscribers. What I thought about doing was putting like an audio Bible up because um that'll help you get subscribers too, people wanting to listen to the audio Bible. But you have to have someone that's really good at reading it. The only amateur person I've heard that's good at reading the Bible is the guy from Flatwater Flat Earth. I like his voice, even though it's not professional, you know, especially when he reads like Enoch or like, first, second, and third Ezra and like Jasher, those extra biblical books. Oh, that's a tough week, man, to lose that many. Well, at least you didn't lose your big channel because you can always set up a backup channel and put on your big channel to please subscribe to those other ones, and you should probably get close to 1,000, back pretty soon. I mean, I think that's what Call for an Uprising does, right? Like subscribers, and I think he uses that one to, build the other ones, and he gets like 20 or 30,000. And once it gets to that level, then it builds on itself just because he has good content or he's a good talker. Hey, but I live like really close to you. Like like I've seen videos of you like riding a scooter in places that like I was just there. So we live very close. But I just got to be careful who else I say lives out here because I know other people out here too. Oh, that's cool that you already got like almost 500 subs there. That's good. Well, it's weird because like I have 1,200 subscribers, but I don't ever see all these people. Like I don't know where they all are. I remember like how long it took, but I don't ever see more than 200 people click on a video, and so I'm like, well, where are all these people? It took you 11 years to get 86. Well, I think I had like 80 before I even had any content. It was just being friends with people, and like I would be in like Flat Earth channel chats, and I'd say, hey, um, let's subscribe to each other in case we start doing content, you know, and it would just be a friend. And so once it got up to 80, then me and Tom were like, hey, maybe we should start a channel. He already had 400 or something like that, but he had mostly fishing videos and he didn't want to do true stuff over there. because I mean, who knows if those 400 would want to hear true stuff, right? So like, you never know, right? And so we just started doing it on my channel, and it started to grow pretty fast. And I would say when Alex came to help me, that I would say the channel grew just as much with Alex than it did with Tom. Maybe a little faster. And so, it is what it is. I've had a lot of help and a lot of great people in my life, and without everybody being so great, I don't think it would be where it is right now. And so I just try my best to, like, you know, really be there for you guys. You know, it's all about what God wants from me, right? It doesn't matter what I want, it matters what God wants, I think. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna round out. It was fun, man. This 15 minutes went fast. I don't know if it was very edifying, but I really enjoyed having this talk with you guys. And I liked being able to talk about, like, just some of the food that we eat and some of the things that are good or bad for us, that kind of thing. And so, I don't know how many people are here left, but yeah, I really appreciate everybody. I'm grateful. And so I'll just say that, praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. And, all glory to God. What are my thoughts on, I think, well, I think differently of both. I think ETT's a nice enough young man. I think he's caught up in something that's not good for him. He seems nice enough, as a person. I just think that he was led wrong. As far as mind of God, I think that he's a really smart guy, like one of the smartest people that I mean, he's up there with anybody else that I met in life as far as being smart. I just think that sometimes pride will get in the way of you know, it's unfortunate that with all the places that it's written in the Bible about salvation being through um, faith and grace, right? That he misses that all out. Well, and you know what? Like, I don't know, level up. Like, I thought about that too, and it wouldn't bother me either way. Yeah, it's like sometimes when he thinks about it, right? Thinks about something, he wants you to understand it right away. He wants you to get it. And while I'm open to some things being true, right? And none of that kind of stuff would bother me either way. Like, but because I wouldn't take a position on it, he got upset at me. And so I was like, yeah, it's possible. Sure, that's interesting. I would, like to look more at that. But he would get mad if he didn't agree with, where he was at in his studies. And not everything that he was doing was right. And when he got it wrong about salvation, I just couldn't even do videos with him anymore. Saying that salvation isn't for everybody, that only certain people can be saved, and in that, it was about, like, I don't know, he said something about surviving till the end or something like that. And but some of those shows I had with him were some of the best shows I've ever had. He's like smart. It's just that he's off. He's right about some stuff, but what does it matter if you're wrong about salvation? You know? Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's yeah, because if you don't agree, he gets angry. And it's like, yeah, I just want to learn. Like, if you want to teach me some stuff, I'm open to learning. And maybe you are right, but yeah, if you're gonna, yeah, I can't either. That's where I draw the line. If you get salvation wrong, then I can't even I can't even associate myself with somebody that gets salvation wrong, just so people don't think that that I share that belief, because I believe that we're all saved uh, by grace because of what Jesus did on the cross. There is nothing else added to that or that's going to tip the scales. Like it's not going to be that plus I give a few people $10. Like like nothing I do is going to make it better or worse. It's Jesus paid our our ransom in full, and He redeemed us, right? And if you see it a different way, then that's not Christianity in my point of view. That's something else, you know. Yeah, it's sad because I'm almost of the opinion that it's okay not to know, but it's not okay to say you know and be wrong, I mean, and that's even a dicey line to stand on, because it's written in so many places in the Bible that you can't get it wrong. You can't. If you had 5 pages of the Bible, you should be able to get that right. But anyway, guys, praise Jesus for His sacrifice and His grace, and all glory to God. Pray for the children. I will see all of you tomorrow at 7 a.m. God bless you.